You've likely performed countless crunches, sit-ups, and Superman poses in an effort to finally silence your lower back pain. If you're like most people, you're still waiting for the relief to arrive. Inside your body, those repetitive motions subject your lumbar spine to a cycle of heavy bending and compression. Eventually, the structural integrity of the bone fails, and microfractures begin to spread across the vertebrae. The persistent ache in your lower back stems from a decades-old fitness industry myth, the idea that core strength is built by moving the spine against resistance. Clinical researchers now use electromyography, or EMG, to map the exact relationship between muscle activity and spinal load. This data points toward a specific biomechanical principle of strength that traditional training often overlooks. Treating the spinal column like a bicep, which grows through dynamic motion, is a specific mechanical error that drives modern back pain. The logic seems sound. If a bicep gets stronger by curling, the spine should get stronger by flexing and twisting. But your spine manages two distinct forces. There is vertical compression, the downward force your spine was built to handle, and sideways shear force, which attempts to slide your vertebrae out of alignment. To understand why a spine buckles under that sideways pressure, we have to look at what happens to a pressurized soda can the moment you pop the tab. During a sit-up, the spine undergoes a pumping action. Every repetition pinches the front of the disc, forcing the gel-like nucleus backward. This repeated pressure drives the gel against the wall until it ruptures. This herniated disc presses directly into the spinal nerves. Moving into extreme hyperextension, like a Superman pose, is equally problematic. These movements generate severe sideways shear forces that attempt to dislocate the vertebrae. When these shear forces exceed what your ligaments can handle, a vertebra physically slides out of its stacked alignment. This structural failure is called spondylolisthesis. This slippage triggers a cascade of symptoms, including radiculopathy, the sharp shooting pain down your legs, and neurogenic claudication, which is the cramping and weakness caused by nerve compression. You might feel neck pain as your middle trapezius tries to compensate for the instability below. Core exercises designed to generate extreme motion disrupt the spine's structural alignment. These EMG graphs track muscle activation during heavy lifts. Graph A shows a poor lift. Back muscles fire early, lagging gluteal activity, leaving the spine unsupported. Graph B shows a pro lifter. Back and glutes fire simultaneously, locking the torso into a rigid unit. This synchronized firing creates the lifter's wedge, transforming the core into a protective shield that prevents the spine from moving while under load. A pressurized soda can easily supports human weight, but dent the side, just like bending your spine under a heavy load, and the cylinder instantly collapses. The core's primary biological role is to function as a pressurized isometric cylinder that prevents motion. To protect your discs, you must prioritize neutral spine isometrics, exercises where your muscles contract with maximum force while your spine remains completely still. This requires modifying common gym movements. For instance, double leg raises create intense engagement of the hip flexors, which tilts the pelvis forward and forces your lower back into a dangerous arch. Adopting single leg raises with the opposite knee bent locks the pelvis into a neutral position. This simple adjustment flattens the lower back and protects the vertebrae from shear stress. Limit your exposure to axial compression, the downward force on your spine, especially on unstable surfaces. Data shows that suspension strap exercises can generate over 2,100 newtons of compression as your muscles struggle to maintain balance. True back rehabilitation focuses on neurological motor unit synchronization to improve muscle coordination. Use correct isometric protocols, like the McGill Big 3, to build endurance in a neutral position. If you are managing a herniated disc, focus on Mackenzie method exercises, which utilize specific positions to help centralize pain and reposition the disc material. A spine trained to constantly bend under pressure is a spine that is moving toward an eventual break. But a spine trained to act as a synchronized, unyielding wedge is mechanically bulletproof.